Hey everyone. Yeah, I know this one's a little late. Sorry. I decided to kind of take a couple days in order to just rest after having to like house sit. But just I guess just jumping right into the chapter, we get to see the results of the fight with Luzin, where it's revealed that yeah, Frey won. Now, the aftermath of this fight is the more interesting thing to talk about. However, because I'm not joking when I say I'm more worried about Frey's next match with AG than I was for the fight with Luzin now, because with Luzin, we more or less knew I guess he had to lose since it's a classic case of the tale of revenge. It was just a question of whether or not Frey would have to pull out the sacrifice play in order to defeat him or not. But now that we know that she has lived long enough in order to make it to the next stage, this is where things get interestingly complicated. Because on one hand, I would like to believe I would like to believe that with this awakening of her power, that Frey could very easily dust AG no problem, dust AG no problem. Will but the problem right now is that not only is he uh, a virtual unknown as far as knowing the extent of his powers, but he seems to have far better control over those powers as well. Whereas Frey, Frey has just awakened her origin, and let's be frank, she doesn't have full control over that yet. So just in a general sense, continuing the theme of revenge with this arc, it does feel like there's more of a narrative reason for AJ to progress through the next fight than Frey. So while I don't want to say it's a guarantee she'll die, there are some factors working against her here. Although it will be interesting to see what route Mashima goes with Eiji's character in a fight with Frey, because for because for me there's two scenarios this goes. AG, this will be a straight up eye for an eye battle where Yakuto having killed Dest, AG's friend, AG will more than likely respond in kind by killing Frey in revenge. So that's like the first scenario this could go. Or if Mashima decides to kind of develop AG's character a bit, we could potentially see AG kind of like mellow out a bit, I guess, during the fight. I guess throughout, as the fight progresses, he he may come to he may come to kind of see a little bit of entertainment in the fight or something, and just much like Frey did in her fight, he may end up no longer caring about revenge and just about the fight itself. So, and it just kind of depends on which direction Mashima wants to take AG. If he's going down the straight revenge route, then yeah, that kind of puts. I feel that might put Frey a little bit more on the chopping block again. But if he's wanting to develop AG's character a bit beyond just revenge and have him move beyond revenge, then I think there's a chance that she survives this, I think. In saying that, though, yeah, let's talk about Frey's power-up, because according to God, what essentially happened here is that Frey unlocked her root's origin factor, basically. Abilities one can only tap into by pushing their body and abilities to their absolute limits. So, yes, you could say it's basically the Super Saiyan transformation of root abilities. Although, unlike something like Super Saiyan, the origin factor obviously manifests differently based upon your root, your root factor, the thing, how you're pretty much born as a demon. With that said, I'm also curious what God meant by Yakuto also having awakened his origin root, because the only way that would make sense right now is that after having absorbed the white dragon, Yakuto's powers became more complete in a sense. Because he was cursed with the black dragon, it caused his root to become unstable. But by absorbing the white dragon, it brought about a little more balance and stability to his root on top of awakening it. That's kind of how I'm viewing it right now. Like it's basically it's again that yin and yang thing of like the is because he has both white and black dragon powers. They've melded together and created a more balance in his root, I think, is what's happened. I think that that's what God is talking about, is that he is both a white and both a black and white dragon now, in that regard. Having said that, there's a few major reveals to talk about with this chapter. The first is that with the battle between Yakuto and Setsuna beginning, there's a brief break in the action where we learn that Setsuna basically has the same goal as Yakuto, to kill God, obviously leading to Yakuto to thinking that he wants to get her on his side. Now, because of the rules of this tournament, I'll be interested in seeing how this plays out from here, because if Yakuto does succeed in convincing Setsuna to work alongside him and the others, then that only creates a bigger question of how this fight is going to end, because one of them, likely Setsuna, is going to have to put on a convincing show for the audience to fake her death. And yeah, I'll be honest. It's crazy how in Single Moment, Mashima has got me fully invested in Setsuna now. Like, admittedly, like a lot of people, she just kind of felt like another obstacle for Yukoto to overcome. But in one single panel where we see Yuri, he's now got me saying, okay, you've got my attention now. What's Setsuna's story? Which, yeah, likely this Yuri character is dead, meaning Setsuna's reasons aren't too dissimilar from Yakuto's in wanting to kill God. The only difference being in the quantity of the kills, where with Yakuto having lost his whole family, his whole tribe, and her only having lost one person. Now, with all that said, the other thing to talk about is we finally get the reveal of the face of the masked man, and the man says he's basically he and Yakuto-kun, I want to see you again soon. Now, this is where I ask all of you guys this is where I turn to all of you guys and ask you. I might need to look back on the series maybe a couple chapters ago, but is this character new and it's just a piece of the puzzle that's going to be added onto Yakuto's backstory, or is this someone we met that we met before in the series and I just don't remember, because for the life of me, I can't, of all the chapters I've reviewed, I can't remember this guy. I don't know the face or the name or anything like that. But so yeah, if anyone can kind of fill me in on this, that would be great, because I think he's a new character that's gonna like fill in a few gaps with that's gonna help to, that's maybe gonna like, it's gonna maybe like add a bit more to Yakuto's history. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who this character is, so if you could tell me, please do. But yeah, guys, that's what I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Blue Sky, analyze Crunchyroll, push notification bell, the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight, everybody, signing off. Later, everyone.